So for a cuboid, we need both the sides, right? So let's inherit this. And here I am creating the function with same name, but I should return self.s1 star self.s2. Okay, now we have done the same function name with the different functionalities in the same class, right? So what will happen here? Let me create the object for the cube class first. So it is asking one value, second value if you don't give also, it's not a problem. Let me give 5. Okay, and now let me call the function dot area. Let me do the same for cuboid. See, so even though you have the same function name, normally what it will do, it will override the functionality, right? But here I am able to use the different function according to my own um, ease of use, right? So this is what you call it as method overloading. You can have like different objects, and you can like call the different types of objects. Whatever the objects you call, the function will act according to where it has been defined or in which it has been defined. Okay, like it will work on different objects differently. For cube object, this particular function, area function, is working differently. For cuboid, it is working differently, right? So what is happening here? The child class is like overriding the parent class. Okay, okay, and I'm sorry. This is overriding, not overloading. I just made a mistake. Okay, this is like whatever the same function name you create, the functionality of that function. Let's say if I have defined instead of an empty class, I could have defined the area of calculating a rectangle or square also. Okay, but if I create a, child class with the same function name also, this will override. So whatever the child class you create and whatever the functionalities that you define, that will be called instead of this. Area which you have given in the parent class, that is called method overloading. Same function name but with different functionality or separate independent functionality can be used. Okay, like the concept about difference between, let's try to understand the difference between overloading and overriding. The concept is same function name with different functionality is same for both overloading and overriding. Method overloading means the number of arguments can differ in the same function. How many number of arguments you give also, it will act accordingly. Okay, that is the example of method overloading. Okay, like I have a method to compute the area. If I give only one, it has to calculate the area, like square of the particular area. If I give two value, it has to calculate it as length into breadth, and it has to calculate the area of a rectangle. And if I give 3, it has to do it for the volume. So inside the same function, you can give any number of arguments you want, and still the function will not throw an error. That process is called method overloading. And overriding, in the sense, you have the same function name and different functionalities. So like this overriding is mostly like you can use it in the help of a inheritance concept. Like if a parent class is having some function with some specific execution, okay, and in the child class it is also creating a same function with different set of execution, right? So even though the name is same, the child class can override the functionalities of that method. That's what you call it as overriding.
But in the Meenakshi, in the current scenario, the area class was empty. I mean, sorry, that function, not the class. The
Yes,
area.
the function I just leave it as empty. If you want, you can create a simple execution of calculating a square or something, anything you want. You just try it out.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if we just comment that and just execute it, so I mean, where is the like method overriding coming in picture in this case?
What do you
How
want
is
to comment it out? You don't want the area function itself in the class, parent class?
yeah, I mean still the code will execute, right? So I'm saying in the current scenario, how is method overriding coming into picture?
So I have a class, or let's say I have a method called area in my parent class. Okay. So
Yep.
imagine that I have created as empty just for example sake. Imagine that it is having some purpose. Let's say it is having, I'll not put empty. Let me share my screen. Let's say instead of creating as an empty class, I'll just do some execution. I'll just print something. Okay. So according to Python, you are inheriting all the properties of the parent class, right? So this
Right.
method will also be inherited. So when you call the area class, this should be printed. But when we try to print it, this whatever child class that you are referring, or whatever object that you are created, if you created object for cuboid, that
Mm-hmm.
area will be only printed. So now you are overriding the functionality of this particular, because still this cube class is able to, this cube class is owning this area function also, right? Because it is a inherited class. How
Correct.
it is owning this side 1 and side 2, this area function is also owned by or inherited by this cube. Now, according to this cube, it is having two area functions. One is this and one is its own area, right? The names are same. The parameters also kind of same. We don't have any extra arguments, right? So, but in this case, what it is doing, it is overriding the old functions functionality, and it is executing the new methods functionality, right? That is what we call it as overriding.
Okay. So and if in the child class, in the area function, if we would have given some argument, so in that case it would have been overloading.
Yes, in that case also it will overload. The function name is same, argument it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The name of the function it will overload. Like if you call the area here also, it will ask for the argument which you added newly.
Right. Got it. Thank you.